Peace Show is coming to you right now. It's the Peace Show to save the world. So give up all folly, give up all strife, because peace is the way of life. Yeah, peace is the way of life. Peace, way of life. Peace, way of life. Peace, way of life. This is a painting of Garuda, Krishna riding on the bird Garuda, and saving the unalloyed devotee, the pure devotee in the corner down there from the ocean of material suffering. This is an old painting. I did this back in 1990. But it's in my original style before I became serious enough to not Picasso-ize the Hindu religion. Peace on earth! Mine and peace is yours, peace is good, peace is now, peace is us, peace is how, peace is right now. Okay, so this is Interfaith Alive. Here's a song for Mother Earth, inspired by the rainbow. She said her heart wouldn't break if she could get all the love it takes. So, it says that developing sublime qualities is what knowledge is, what is enlightenment, what is knowing, is actually having a core in your heart that emanates all these wonderful qualities. You should write them down, many qualities that we think of, and meditate on them. Peace. So that we can give everyone we know peace. If we have qualities, we can give everyone peace. But anyway, all of these things come from the source, the cause of all causes. And all of human society must pour water onto the root of creation, must pour homage unto God. The rainbow is the manifestation of the children of all lands come together on one place. We're even the children of that bunch of children, the hippies, the first ones to break away in the counterculture. There's something the Great Spirit has arranged for all of us to be here for. And in the Oracle of San Francisco in Haight-Ashbury, one brother told me they don't even have a copy of the first copy of the Oracle. But how it started out, it was somewhat prophetic in the way they did things. And this brother told me, and the rainbow will birth to the world the interfaith chanting. Okay? And this has been my mission. I'm here as a person from the outside who tries to participate in the rainbow family by giving love to everybody. But, so, when I lived in a teepee for a year, there's this quote from Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley says, the greatest adventure for man is through the scriptures, plural, multiple, the scriptures of the world to find God's will for him or her. So resorting to solitude free from all care, back to that other quote, pursuing the search of the absolute there, this is cognizance. This is awareness. So. And the truth is, okay, so if I say that we are eternally individual souls, and we're eternally personal, the more meaningful something gets, the more personal it gets. And you say, I'm eternally a person, then, I'm an eternal individual soul, then that goes in opposition to this so-called I'm God, you're God, it's all one after we transcend. Okay? So we are eternal soul, that's why we have karma. Mother Earth said her heart would bleed. She could get all the love she needs. She said, I was carving a drum. I found someone had cut down a big cherry tree. And I took this drum, this big trunk, and I chipped from both sides with a chisel, scraping my knuckles. It took 8 months to get through the middle. And this is symbolic, because when we go in our heart, when we go on our quest, we're trying to get deep into the center. Then we have to refine it and shape it. Then we have to give it resonance. Then we have to let it sing. So I found for me the highest thing to follow, and I found that the Bhagavad Gita stood out for me above everything else, but that's just me. We say one with God. We can be one with God in 3 ways. One with the will of God, thy will be done. One with the purity of God, okay? The will of God means you know what God wants you to do. You may not know the big picture of everything and be completely omniscient, but you know that in the moment, listening to your heart and doing your part, will of God, with the purity of God. Yeah, and there's a verse in the Bible that says, be perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect. That's the kind of purity, a qualitative oneness. The same qualities. The drop of water has the same qualities as the ocean. So we want to be that pure. We have pure intentions. That's the first kind of pure and the most important. Happy, helpful, humble, and honest. The 4 H's. And the other kind of pure soul is called unalloyed pure. They have pure intentions and pure behavior. But there are some people who hold the profile of acting purely and having the robes and doing all the austerities and fasting and meditation more than anyone else, but then you see that they're just elbowing their way up to the top of some political structure within a spiritual movement. Anyway, so you really start out with the 4 intentions, because you can't tell to see who's following clearly who is the most pure. But if you have humble, happy, helpful, and honest, then you will be very straightforward in your dealings, and you will not try to use others, and you will try not to even abuse yourself, and which means your behavior will change. Because when you get the 4 H's down, your own behavior towards others and towards yourself gradually becomes perfect, because you see it as your own. There's no reward for it except the purity of being there, and that's God's grace to understand that secret. A lot of traditions tell the people to be pure, but then they all struggle. They're going home and they're all immersed in material surroundings. What you associate with, you become like. And spiritual people have to go ahead of the game. They have to think, how do I want to live? How do I want to be? And then you make your house, your surroundings, your friends, your circles, everybody that you set up, everything that you associate with, then you become like it. So you clear out your house, you make your life simple, you go to good association, you give up bad association, put yourself in the association, what you think a spiritual person should be like, and you'll develop. Sometimes you don't know, you're sitting there and you are waiting for her love. Sometimes you don't know, you're sitting there and you are waiting for her love to carry you. While I was in the teepee, also an angel came down as a bird and told me to share this message to 27 nations, that the interfaith will blossom within that. And that was a light that came in the morning, and the messenger came in the form of a bird, shining all this light with every sound of a bird song that you can imagine, but it was pure light. And yet when I heard the light in my heart, it translated into what I just said. And what we saw was religions coming together. People have their different costume, the Native American, the Muslim, the Hindu, and they all maybe tell a little story from their tradition or sing some sacred prayer song or something. And at the end, everyone just kind of agrees. They bow to each other and they agree to disagree with respect. This is the beginning of what really needs to happen in the world. Is you take the walls down between religions. You see? And in the sense that everyone stays within their faith, But the more that we can like take the box down, we can appreciate each other.